Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 3v3 ladder match on the Necroxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with red team up here in the north, following blue team down here in the south, starting with the ruby red player of Alexander Berlin. He is going first land as a Cybran. To the west in orange, the color orange, we have Insane, I think that's how you say that. Going first land as Cybran as well. Last but not least, for Team 1 Red here on the northern side, we have the Crimson Red player of CH4545. He's going first land as a Seraphim. So on this side of the map, we have 2 Cybran and 1 Seraphim. No Aeon or UEF tech to speak of. Down here to the south, starting off with the first player on blue team, we have Hannibolo going first land as an Aeon in Royal Blue. To his north, we have Zelnaga going first land as a UEF in Amethyst Purple. And last but not least, to the west on Team 2, or Blue Team as we'll call them, we have Strife going first land in Stitch Blue as an Aeon. So again, on Team 2 side of things, we have 1 UEF and 2 Aeon. Definitely a mirroring effect going down here. They don't have access to Seraphim or Cybran from Team 2, and on Team 1, they don't have access to UEF and Aeon. So let's see which set of factions ends up winning this game. We're going to check on the reclaim. As of right now, if I can make the little thing go away, we have 23,765 reclaims, so probably 24,000 at the onset of the game as that number continues to go down, as our players get early engineers scooping up that juicy mechs and reclaim on the field. A lot of it actually concentrating not really in any one particular spot. There are, a decent amount on this middle section here between the little, avenues and plateaus and all of the stuff. It's going to be very difficult for our players here in the middle. You have this giant mountain pass to try to traverse, so we'll see if players decide to go in the water. It looks like you can invade from the water, so that will be definitely an avenue of attack to watch out for. We also have the land bridges. Actually, they're not even bridges, they're actually just disjointed bridges, so wouldn't be surprised to see some not build orders, some distance building being used on this side and, of course, the north side as well. So very hard to get a land army from one side of the map to the other, so wouldn't be surprised to see Navy be a huge focus just to secure the middle of the map. And then the air game being very important. Wouldn't be surprised to see an air base go back up here. It looks like that is what Strife is doing here on Team 2 side of things. He might be going for the air play here. Not really any concerted effort on either team to make one specific player the air player, but wouldn't be surprised to see, again, multiple players in this game go air. We are dealing with players between 1051 and 1523 with an average rating of 1311 and 1297. So, we're only talking about 14-point differential, so very close and yielding a 99%. Let's go ahead and check up what's going on in the land game. We have some scouts out here, the spirits out from Strife, trying to get an early readout of what's going on. We already have a build queue built up for the Seraphim player of CH4545. I think we'll call him Chuck. I don't know why. I just feel like a Chuck feels good for that player. So we'll call him Chuck if I remember to do so. Sometimes I say I'm going to do something and then completely forget to do it, so we'll see if my brain remembers as time goes on. And if you're not familiar with the mods in the game, I have the mod that changes the mass extractors to numbers. They're very easy to read at an early glance, as well as the highlight mod for the ACUs to pinpoint the ACU location, as well as highlights for the intel installations, the HQs, and the nuke defense and silos. The comm of Chuck is moving into the water. Yeah, I think he might be trying to go to the other side of the channel here. Little lake, pond, whatever the heck we're going to call this. Probably pond. And maybe build some land factories here to just harass his mirror here to the west. We have bombers coming down from one player from Strife, trying to take out early engineers. This bomber is going to go down. Gets a nice turn in, but does not get the bomb off. Very unfortunate there. We have a couple bombs out here going to take out. I guess that was one of those spirits. There are some bombers on approach now. Going to go after engineers or mechs would be my guess. They're going to go after the mechs. Not really the best play, but early damage coming down. If that other bomber comes in, which it did not, would have been able to take out that mechs, but unfortunately it will stay alive. 2 comms on the west side, both going for gun speed and range. One of them is a Seraphim and one of them is a Cybran. So a lot of conservative effort on red team side of things to take the northern side of the map. On the southern side, really not a huge amount of like anything really. We have a drop out here of a couple of engineers, but don't really know what they're going to do with that. There are some nearby Mantis and Medusa nearby to deal with these engineers, and then they do retreat immediately, so I don't really know. I guess they're going for this mass here, but most of them are going to die before they get any orders off, unfortunately, for Team 2. We have a drop here in the middle now for Chuck. He's trying to get some early harass down here. There are interceptors. That transport landing very close to the ground. There is a spirit nearby. That transport does fall, lands on the hillside or the mountainside, and just decides to hang his hat there. One Zooey does make it over that water, but there are nearby Aurora to deal with that incoming incursion. Radar going down for Team 2 and be able to figure out what the heck's going on that side of the map. I think it covers a decent actually section of the water there, so they'll be able to see a lot of any floaty nonsense going down over there. Speaking of floaty nonsense, we have Aurora now appearing here on the shoreline for Hannibalo. I'm going to say Hannibal or Hannibal, but there's an O at the end, so Hannibalo. I think it's how you pronounce it. And again, let me know if I pronounce anybody's name wrong. Definitely don't want that to be the case. T2 HQ has been built here for Xel'Naga, and I swear Xel'Naga is from something. Either it's like StarCraft or League of Legends or something. Like it's the name of a champion or something, because that name is definitely familiar. I just can't pinpoint where. If any of the viewers watching know where that name comes from, please let me know down in the comments. We have the first traversal of a comm from one map to the other in the form of Chuck. Chuck is being followed by his compatriot of Insane. We have a T2 upgrade going down for Strife, not going for the gun damage and the gun speed and range upgrades for the Aeon commanders that you usually see, but going for defenses nonetheless. Again, pretty much not a whole lot of things going on either side of the map. We have, some interceptors flying around, some, early harassments, but not really a whole concerted effort to really push one side or the other, except for this western side. We see a decent amount of resources being funneled into this water, but now the spam is the name of the game for Strife. Actually, not for Strife, for Chuck, because those are Seraphim. I apologize. Oblivion turrets are coming online. There are interceptors over the top for Team 1 protecting Team 1's comms. Strife finishes that Oblivion. It opens fire, starts going after the weaker comm of Insane. Weaker chassis on the Seraphim are definitely a disadvantage to them. PDs are going up, trying to do as best they can to hold off this incoming incursion. Bombers come over the top. Would like to see those bombers be focused on the comm of Insane. Push him back first, then focus on pushing the comm of Chuck back. You can see the PD trying to be spammed up as fast as it can. I just feel like there's just not enough. There are nearby Auroras now inbound. All the interceptors for Team 1 starting to land. They haven't been given a lot of orders here. But the comm of Chuck has been surrounded for now. There are incoming engineers. Oh, apologies. I hit the wrong thing there. But Strife is in the yellow, though, so that's definitely not looking good for him. He did build a couple PD. That's going to force these comms back. Insane drops fairly close to sub 2,500 hit points. Actually does. Drops into the red fairly quickly. Hit points being evaporated from that comm, but he is going to make it in the water with his teammate there. So unfortunately this push was unsuccessful. Chuck pops out of the water again, take out a couple of these Aurora, get a rank in vet, and actually is halfway to another one as well, but he's not going to stay there for long, I would imagine. T2 Naval Factory has been built for Chuck as well. And I would go for cruisers first to eliminate the air advantage or any advantage for the air that Team 2 could have, and then go for maybe destroyers or something. I would like to see a Seraphim player, a Cybern player, go for the Salems, those ones that can sprout legs and just not be naval units anymore. On the eastern side of things, we have similar pushing going down. We have Hannibal securing the water. I don't imagine any players are going to use these corners. They might hide some comms there, but they won't use it for any offensive things. T2 going down on the comm of Chuck. Going to get some more hit points back and then probably build up some Utashalas. I would like to see some anti-air. Okay, never mind. As I speak it occurs. That's usually how it works for me sometimes. The bombs constantly are landing. The shield, staying strong. And unfortunately, it's not really going to matter a whole lot for those bombers. Team 1 needs maybe strats or something. Maybe not jesters. Corsairs. T2 air has been achieved for Chuck. And I don't see any... Oh, no. T2 air has been achieved for Alexander Berlin. And he is also going for T3 at the current moment. T2 land has been achieved for Insane. I love the highlights, being able to just instantly see it. And the icon, of course, is different. So you're like, oh, that's the headquarters, and that's that's an air, and that's a land, and that's a navy. I love the different icons for everything. And he does build a cruiser, and those missiles are going to start raining in. Unfortunately, he's facing an Aeon player, so the volcanoes are very deadly. Takes out that early volcano, trying to get that spammed up, but just can't do it. Strive taking AoE damage from those missiles. It's taking a lot of damage. He needs to move. He's trying to build that. He sucks up the reclaim for that and goes, I am out of here. He needs missile defense over here to the west. That is going to be the next. I think that is actually targeted onto the comm directly. At least that's what he assumes this unit is. That's what I would assume as well, because that's where you saw the comm last. But the cruisers do move up, start going after that base. The shields are holding for now. The structures outside of the shield are just taking massive amounts of damage. And it's volcanoes all day, every day for the player of Strife. While we kind of have, some, rocks being thrown at one another. Let's go ahead and look at ecos here for a brief second. In terms of generated, we have 235 for red team over here to the east. And I appreciate that it's actually red and not yellow. And on the southern players for team 2 of blue team, we have 220. I say 220. That amounts to, what is the total mass accrued? Well, it's only 2,000 mass differential. It's actually very close considering. And now that we've gone over that, we have both of the comms out here for team 1 over here to the north, I guess west, north-ish west. Built some Utashalas, the T2 point defense. Now the base wars have begun here in the west. The cruisers are eliminating all of those nearby interceptors. So again, locking out air, very important on, especially protecting these comms out here. Doesn't want a couple strat bombers just wrecking your day, especially these comms being this close to one another. The explosions will definitely make a huge difference in remaining hit points. Now we have the comm of Zelnaga under fire. He has built a buzzkill. He's going to build another one, and then shield coverage all day, every day. That is a stealth field specifically, though. Nothing going down here. Lost the mechs here at some point. Hasn't rebuilt that yet. There is an engineer nearby, so can't do that. We do have a land invasion, however, on Team 2 side of things against Team 1, the red team. I don't think I'll ever be able to say red team and blue team just succinctly in ranked matches, so I'll try to remember, but might just not try to force myself to do it. I'll just have to try to say it naturally. But Blazes, these floating T2 tanks from the Aeon, doing damage to those Mantis nearby. These units are pushing all the way around the emplacements. Very good move there, getting around and the back. I would like to see him go after the power station, knock out some of that power. Alexander is losing power, however. He is energy deficient by a decent amount, too. So would that be a decent bag for Team 2 to grab? PD being spammed up as best they can. It is not fast enough, unfortunately. The Mantises, I think, are assisting in that effort. At least this one might try to be. I don't know. It looked like it was, and then it wasn't. We have interceptors over the top here for Insane. No ASF yet, but we do have T3 factory been built for Insane. So He is, I think, going to be the devoted air player for this game. Versus on Team 2 side of things, it looks like it's his mirror, Zelnaga. But the cruisers are starting to be a problem here for blue team. Down here in the south, we have Chuck spamming out these land factories, pumping out Zooey, deal with that incoming force. Strife was able to evade a lot of these missiles with these volcanoes. Some missiles still impact the shield occasionally, but it's not going to matter a whole lot due to those volcanoes being able to strip away multiple missiles. But something has to be done on this western side against this Navy. It is too strong. And again, would like to see Insane or even maybe Alexander just build one naval factory and build some Salems to push that land advantage. Because they have the naval advantage and the air advantage over here as well. But both teams not going, really rushing for T3 air. Usually at 15 minutes we see ASFs being built up actually quite regularly, but not really a huge push for that. We have the comm of Alexander Berlin pushing on this eastern side against these blazes. They've distracted the comm, which allows the other set of units out here from Hannibalo to be able to push forward into that main base. They would like to probably grab either the P-Gens or the T3 factory itself. The P-Gens probably would be the easier thing to grab, but the factory would be the best thing to grab. Knock out the air advantage. Two players have now achieved T3 air on red team side of things versus the, two players. One player, he hasn't gone T3 air yet. Wouldn't be surprised if he does so here soon, though. But just the missiles are raining down. The incoming forces out here from Hannibal are starting to wither away and die. I think he pushed them too far forward. Not able to take damage to those P-Gens. Would have liked to grab at least a couple of those, considering the fact that Alexander he was suffering power issues. Now he is not. Probably due to the loss of some of these structures down here. But would like to see the micro be a little bit better here for Hannibal, just to take out at least something else. It's just sad to see units that could easily have taken out P-Gens by now not do so. He does have the asylums, the shields to be able to protect a lot of these units, so definitely good move on that. Unfortunately, you can't use the enemy shields against their own units or their own teammates' units, so definitely not something you can do. But it looks like Insane is building up SAM sites to just lock the air on this side. We have, a decent amount of air coverage, or anti-air coverage over here to the west, and a decent amount in the middle. Eastern side's the only weak part in terms of anti-air coverage. We do have a strat coming in here for Team Blue, or Blue Team, or Team 2, or the Southern Team, or whatever the heck we're going to call that team. And it goes off the map, turns back around. What the comm is just open. There are interceptors coming in to attack that strat bomber, or at least moving into position at least. The strat bomber comes in. Wouldn't like to see the ASFs come assist that bomber, though. Don't go after the fences. It goes after... it goes after mass. That's not that bad. Wouldn't like to see it maybe take out these P-Gens. I guess T1 isn't that important, but maybe go back and take out the comm. The comm is far forward. Doesn't have any shield coverage. So it'd be a great bag for him. He does go for the Mexes as well, and this is going to drop multiple players' eco down a decent amount. But all players on red team have achieved T3 air. So like I said early on, T3 air is definitely going to be a huge thing. The bomber has now spotted the nope, goes for another mass extractor. That's it's just kind of disappointing. We do have a small group of these Aurora and Blazes. Actually, these are all Blazes, taking out auxiliary mexes as well. So the ecos on Team 1 are being eradicated. The bomber flies over the coverage, and it just gets wrecked. The bomb does not get off. You could have eliminated a player at this stage. He is literally by himself, not doing anything. Definitely a loss. But look at all the mass extractors that are now gone on Team 1 side of things. Team 2, on the other hand, not that bad in terms of what's been lost, but it's starting to look bad with all these cruisers inbound. They're now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them lining the coastline, so the TMD might start to be a little bit taxed. Would like to see a couple more just to future-proof it, but a lot of them have been eliminated, though there's only 2 left of those volcanoes, so definitely something to watch out for on that western approach. Those units continue to deal damage to the eco of Team 1, dropping their eco quite significantly. Team 2 is winning by 50 now. They were losing a couple minutes ago. Another Mechs goes down. The taking out the SAM's not really that important. If you had a play going on where you had ASF or bombers or something that needed that coverage to be taken out, but taking out the PGen would be great, slowing down the production and taking that out. Then they notice it and they're focusing it down. The Asylum should get underneath, over the top of these to protect them a little bit more. There's not enough damage to deal to that PGen. Unfortunately, there are more units coming in all the time, though, for Team 2. PD dealing lots and lots of damage to those units. The Calm of Insane comes nearby. More blazes trying to focus fire. You need to move these blazes in order to get a firing arc onto that structure, and unfortunately, it's not enough. Does drop it to half health, though. A couple of jesters or something could eat. Not jesters. What are they called? Shoot. What are the ones for T2 for Aeon called? Shoot. They're fighter bombers. I forget what they're called. Anyway, the T2 fighter bombers could easily take this out. A couple passes and that'd be taken out pretty quickly. But it looks like the cruisers have a new target taking out. I don't know what they were taking out, but they took out the rest of these units out here in the other side of that hillside. That gunship is still there. That transport's still there. Still hanging out. No one's come and claim that mass. That is 97 mass. And speaking of overall mass on the field, it's now up to 35,000, excuse me. Close to 36. But look at this. Team 1 has been dealt a serious blow. I'd say a third of their eco has been knocked out, at least in terms of mass extractors. Team 2 have lost a couple auxiliary, but not a whole amount. There is Team D being spammed up, so this will knock out that advantage for Red Team here. We do have a T2 radar installation. Would like to see a Omni being built up at some point. Maybe it's going to be built in Insane's base. Insane. Again, I still think it's Insane, but again, let me know down in the comments if I pronounce anybody's name wrong. Team 2 now has their air player of Zelnaga been beefed up pretty well. T2 upgrade, got the Zeph, I think that's the Zeph amp, and the shield, so definitely trying to push back this incursion. Those fire bases are starting to fall fairly quickly just due to the incoming pressure from those units. There's a T3 battleship, the Hathum's, been built for Chuck here on the western pond. That's definitely going to have a huge advantage here on this western side. The range on these things are actually quite good. You could put it right about here, and you'd get most of that western side. So definitely dangerous. They can also build nukes. So Team 2 has to be aware of that. Another push from Team 2. Unfortunately, defenses have been built up in that intermediate time, and they're going to force those units back. So looks like Insane has learned from his mistake, repped up his ion reactor, and is pushing back against the blue team here in the east. And now it's, unless Team 2 does something with their eco advantage, which they are slowly losing, they got to do some building up air grids. That's good. That's something, I guess. Team 1 is kind of behind on that. They have everybody has a T3 factory. Air grids are starting to go up for a couple players, but looks like the main issue for Team 2 is this western side with the Navy, and that battleship inches further and further. They have a disadvantage, though, with that Navy is the fact they have all of that, mountainside and terrain to deal with. The western over here is fine. But once you get targeting anything over here, it's just you got all this incoming, land. There's also defenses built up. Shields should probably be around these missile defenses just to help protect them. There's Zooey incursions over here to the west. So when Team 2 is pushing on the east, Team 1 is pushing on the west. So you kind of see a yin yang, a back and forth kind of thing going on, which kind of tends to happen. One team prioritizes one front than the other, and one front kind of suffers, and so the other team takes advantage. So that's something you got to be aware of, is where are the losses you're going to accept and where are the losses you're not going to accept, and just devote more resources to what you don't want to accept, because you're going to lose something. So you just got to mitigate those losses. No Omni has been built as of yet for either team. I don't see the circles or whatever on the edges of that intel installation. T3 land has been achieved for Hannibal. He is also going for a Colossus. That could be interesting. Deal a huge damage to this eastern flank. There's hardly any defenses here. I mean, the Air Force can come in and help, but it's not going to matter a whole lot. I think I see there's a gunship, a whaler been built up. That was probably in defense of earlier. There are ASF starting to conglomerate themselves over here. Let's check the ASF game right now. It looks like Chuck is heading most of the not enemy forces, but most of the efforts on Team 1 is pretty much coming from Chuck. He is the middle ranked player, so kind of surprising Alexander does not take a more leading role in that, but maybe he's just sitting ecoing up, which he is not. He's actually the lowest eco player in... Oh, no, Zelnaga is the lowest. So definitely low hanging fruit for Team 2. But anyway, talking about ASF, we have 30 for Team 1, probably a couple additional from Insane. And then for Zelnaga, who is not actually heading it, we have Strife. Where are you? No, those are not ASF. Those are gunships. We have Spectres being built. We have 11 Spectres. Oh, over here. We have 39 Coronas, the T3 ASF. So Team 2 leading the ASF game by a little bit, but that could easily change. There is now another missile-producing vessel. It is the aircraft carrier for the Seraphim. These things are, super useful. You can build units and whatnot from their bays, I guess is what you would call them. Still been playing Starfield. The ship design aspect in that game is very cool. It takes a while to level up and get all the skill points you need, but once you kind of get through a decent amount of the campaign and main storyline and whatnot, you have access to a bunch of stuff. You just got to be very choosy with what you get because there's no refunds for skill points. So just if you are playing that game and you're not super familiar with Bethesda games, just know that once you invest in something, that's kind of it. I usually go for making as much money as you can and trying to reduce the amount of time it takes to do things. So whether that be if you're super into like the exploration part of things, or you want to pilot the C-class ships or whatever, you want to focus that kind of thing down first. You kind of want to have like a goal in mind, and then as things comes up, just like, oh, I kind of like this, and oh, I'd kind of like to have this, and kind of just have side projects going on. But storyline's pretty good. So I would recommend it if you're a fan of Bethesda games. I know there's some controversy going with that game, but you just enjoy the core gameplay loop and aspect of a game, I'd say I would definitely recommend it. So anyway, I've just been enjoying it, so I figured I'd give a shout out to anyone that would either be interested or kind of on the fence about it. So there is a Galactic Colossus that has been built. I would send that to the eastern flank right now. It's going to do nothing over here. I would probably deal with a lot of this spam, but you want the element of surprise, especially with the first experimental in the game that has been built. I don't see anything being built for experiment. Okay, there is a monkey very far off, but there is a monkey. So that Colossus needs to move and move now. It is slow, but it can move. So it's already made its way, halfway to the water. So that's, pretty good. This is a 20 by 20. Zoned for 20 by 20, but it's probably about a 13 to 12. It's not a 15. I can't even zoom out all the way, so it's probably a 12 by 12 or 13 by 13. So, not a whole lot of room for everybody to spread out. And there's also, wasted corners like over here, over on this section of the map, and this section of the map. There's really like a lot of landmass that's just kind of just there. So it's not in like a strategic charge or anything. Both teams have Omni now. They actually have 2 players on Team 2 that have Omni, and we have Chuck having Omni as well. So everyone pretty much knows a lot what's going on everybody else's base. See the range. You can see pretty much everything. And on Chuck's side of things, we have... Let's see if I can try to grab it. There we go. Pretty much see everything that they need to. So everyone's going to know what's going on. He knows there's something in the water. Well, I think they lost track of the Colossus. But if you're one of those people that can figure out based on how fast something is moving what it is, you probably figure it is an experimental. The gunships move in to take out the Zooey. The shields go down around Strife. Strife, you got to move right now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That base is not going to be saved. The gunships need to move in even closer to start taking out those Zooey. The shield has fallen. The shield is now the target after the next Oblivion tank falls. The Oblivion not Oblivions. The Oblivions are trying to be spammed back up still, but the volcanoes go down, and now these missiles have free range. The shields are now being spammed up. More and more of these buzzkill. Hannibal built another experimental. Man, he is churning those out. He has a second one, and where is he going with his comm? He's going to assist. What is he doing? He's building a mass extractor. Why is he? What? He's sending all of his build power to the front lines over here to the east. I don't know about the comm. It's kind of a risky play. We have the comm of Zelnaga under attack. Those shots from a, I think, what is that? Is that from the? That's from the aircraft carrier. Oh, I guess there's that Hathum over there. He's gonna hide behind some mountains, but he was being shot at, distracted those missiles. But just the rain of incoming missiles is just devastating on Team 1 side of things. And it's pretty much 50-50 in terms of map control. I don't count that random bomber down there. So instead of it being down the diagonal over here from top left to bottom right, it is across the middle horizontally. That kind of tends to happen. The lines shift a little bit. But there's a huge push going here on the east. There's that first Colossus that is on its way. That second Colossus is, on its way as well. I guess Hannibal actually misclicked. They're building another Colossus, the third one of its kind. Need air, says Alexander. Yes, you need air on this eastern side. I love what Hannibal is doing. He has additional units with him guarding that. Okay, shields go down. That's not helpful. But the Colossus has, flak. He has shields. He has a whole bunch of things assisting him. And there is nothing on this side. There's some gunship preparing. Those shields on those units gotta come back. One of the reasons the Harbs are very effective is they have the temporary hit points. But if they're not there, they are kind of weak underneath those shields. So not really a good thing there. The gunships should be taking out the flak. They're not going to do enough damage to this Colossus to matter a whole lot. So taking out the monkey does finish though. So if Hannibal doesn't notice that, which he should, like right about now, he should be going after that monkey as well. But he's trying to push the main base of Alexander. Alexander has now fled to the west. The monkey, it opens up its main laser, gets free damage onto that Colossus. The defenses for Alexander start to fall. The hit points on that Colossus start to fall significantly as well. I think they're going after the air grid would be my guess. Strat bombers over the top. The Colossus is down to less than 25% hit points, and he melts. He melts under that Monkey Lord. Monkey Lord gets a rank and vet for that as well. And this push is just a mass dump. It looked very promising, and then it just ended in disaster. Definitely disappointing on that front. We have Cerberus being spammed up. Another Colossus on the front lines. Chuck has built an experimental. Is it a chicken? I would assume it's a chicken. It is a chicken. That's just going to hang out over there for now. He owns that western side of the map now. We both have Zelnaga and, of course, Strife trying to mitigate any incoming damage from those missiles. The Monkey Lord is going to meet that Colossus here once again, but hopefully that Colossus will target the Monkey Lord this time. Definitely a mistake on the first pass over, though. And that Monkey Lord's going to pull the attention of that Colossus, allowing for gunships and the whatnot to take out everything nearby. Radar installation goes down. Sight lines go down. The monkey is trying to flee, pull it back. The Alexander builds his own monkey. Should be scooping up that mass as fast as he can. The laser getting fairly close. Oh, he actually sucked up a... that was a brick. I thought he sucked up a gunship. I was going to say, what? But the hit points on this Colossus aren't looking good. The Monkey Lord's starting to fall fairly quickly. Will the Colossus kill the monkey? It's going to be close. The assisting units and structures are trying to do their best. The Colossus is probably going to fall. The Monkey Lord's going to survive 2 Colossi. That is insane right there. He's going to get another rank and vet. Yep, gets another rank and vet. Some more hit points and regen. And that's 2 mass dumps. No effective not ineffective. No sufficient damage was done to Team 1 side of things. AA says Strife. Well, yeah, you're going to need ASF. You're going to need AA. You just dumped 2 Colossi worth of mass. You've dumped 15,000 and 13,000. So we're talking about 29,000 mass. Not great. Was not a good idea on Hannibal side of things. It was a good idea in hindsight. But not in theory, I should say, not hindsight. But he should have waited, maybe built up those two Colossus first and then set them in together. Would have been better. There is no AA on this eastern side. There is Transcenders, though. That's starting to be spammed up. That's good. Takes out those gunships. And it's just now it's not looking good. Just more and more missiles raining down. The naval factory has not been producing any units. The SMD is now going to be a priority here. We're at 34 minutes. Definitely a good thing to do at this period of time. Unfortunately, that SMD does not block nukes from the eastern side. Would have liked to see that built kind of in the middle here for Insane, kind of covering almost all the bases, but at least a base and a half is better than none. The ASF come over the top. There's a restore ball building up here for Strife as well. The restores are super chunky. Favorite gunship. Very effective in high numbers. And yeah, you can just see how effective that. The ASF can't shoot through them fast enough. And the missiles on those Colossi are a decent amount. More ASFs come in from Insane. Where are the ASF for Team 2? Did they just all die? Well, the gunships, they can only last so long. There is SAM coverage nearby. More ASF come in over the top. They took out that restore ball. Now, you were sleeping on those ASF. That is disappointing from Strife. Oh, you could have saved some of those restores, but you didn't. Definitely a misplay there out from Strife. Oh, I'm raging a little bit. It's just like, they were right there. But there is a Colossus from Strife as well. Going to push this main forward operating base production line for Chuck. Gonna probably do a lot more damage than his compatriot did on the east, though. And one of those Colossus is already gone. There's another Monkey Lord on the eastern side now. Transport, I don't know what was on it, but it was going over there. There's now 3 Monkey Lords on the eastern side. Another Monkey Lord for Insane, so again 3 in total. And there's now a Colossus with a lot of assisting shields. Target the first Monkey Lord right now. You're not going to have a lot of... Don't go after the additioning units. The vacuum hands, I cannot talk, will be able to do that job for you. The first monkey will finally die for Team 2's joy. That Monkey Lord tries to run away. You need to get that Colossus moving. Tries to get away. Dies. The transport, I don't know what these transports are flying around for. The second Monkey Lord is now targeted. The pings go down to take out the Colossus. The second Monkey Lord will die. So that Monkey Lord's still alive. The second Colossus moves in. Take out the first Monkey Lord. Take him out. There you go. There you go. Okay, takes out that Monkey Lord. So the second one dies. The third one was in range just for a brief second. So a lot of mass here. How much mass do we got? 58,000 just on this, what you can see currently. So a decent chunk of change for either team to scoop up. And now there's nothing. There's no man's land over here. There's a chicken on approach. It's going to take out these missile defenses here. There's nothing to defend. Where did that... Oh, it died. Never mind. So probably got killed by the chicken. Yep, killed by the chicken. Gunships over the top for the restorers come over here to take out this chicken. The restorers will probably kill this chicken, but this chicken will take out the defenses, opening up ways for those missiles to get by. So I'd say it's a mass dump, but it does allow for more avenues of attack. Unfortunately, you can only get so far with the missile ranges on those units. ASFs coming in to help assist. The ASFs try to kind of shield those restorers. There is coverage from those cruisers and aircraft carriers, of course. And you can just see the range. The range on those missiles go all the way over here, and that's pretty much as close as you're going to get with those. And then I don't know what this large circle is, but I think it's very similar ranges for those missiles as well. So not a whole lot of advantage, but you can cover almost the whole western side. Another push here to the east. Lots of flak taking out these whalers. They do a decent amount of damage, the whalers, but again, not as effective as those restorers from the Aeon. As of right now, in terms of technology, I wouldn't be surprised to see some Novax be built at some point. There is an S&D in the middle of Team 2's main production base thingamajig. Restorers are moving to the eastern side now to maybe help with the Colossus push. There's now another monkey and another Colossus duking it out. I think that monkey will fall, though. There are some strap bombers over the top to help mitigate that, but monkey's already in the yellow, and that's going to be the Colossus's gain there, but it's not going to survive for so long. Probably should just walk it back, control camp, build another one out of its wreckage. ASF's posturing over here. There's not a lot of ASF here, but he's using his restores as a way to kind of mitigate that. That's kind of his plan, I think. But those strats just get wrecked by those restores, just annihilated. And yeah, the whalers have a lot of health, but you have a lot of restores, so kind of cancels each other out. There are some broadswords to the west, so a lot of gunships and a lot of ASF being priorities with just experimentals. So if you're a fan of gunships and airplay, this game is definitely for you. And obviously if you watched at this point, 39 minutes in, you've probably already seen that. There's a crab nearby. Restorers are taking out the power facilities for Alexander Berlin. ASF coming to help deal with these incoming restorers, but I think most of the damage has already been done, unfortunately. Don't take out the salmon placements. All these restorers, you should have just gotten out of here when you can, and you should just leave now. Yep, just start leaving. You're just dropping mass now. They're just outnumbered too heavily. There is another Colossus on board for Team 2, and all those restorers get killed once more, unfortunately, but they did a lot of damage. They got a decent amount of power. Alexander Berlin is now falling fairly quickly in energy count, so this is not going to go well. Monkey and a crab versus a Colossus, not a good combo there, unfortunately. Only really goes one way. Not really any progress. There's another SMD built right next to one another. Not really the best placement for that, but whatever. Okay, there you go. Wouldn't like to see the focus go on the monkey first. You're not going to take out the crab. You might as well go for the thing you can kill, but unfortunately now the damage is done. The Colossus will fall. Monkey gets a rank and vet. Nothing is gained. Everything is lost. And there's that nearby Colossus just sucks that brick away. That was weird. It got taken by the first Colossus, then just gets sucked off by the second one, kills it. And now the Colossus is falling. There's another one. It tries to make it back to base. It doesn't matter. It's close enough to the front line. And the SAMs will take out the rest of those gunships. Not really worth the loss in gunships, though. Colossus will still be useful, but not that much. Then we have a dual Colossus versus crab and monkey. Well, excuse me. I had a hiccup there. But these Colossus are not really doing a whole lot. They're just standing there. You should be okay. Well, never mind. I was going to say, at least try to do some damage to the one that was already dead. Monkey goes in, opens its its mega laser up. And now the crab has the range advantage on that Colossus and will slowly walk back. And will pretty much kill that Colossus. Let's see, how many? 3,000 hit points per shot. Those hit points are starting to fall on that megalith, though. It's into the red. Shields. I would like to see the shield coverage try to block some shots. They're going to try to use the fall damage. Oh, it's not enough. And it goes around nearby units. Oh, gotta get away. Oh, crash damage does not do any significant damage. Bricks appear here to support the megalith. On the western side, Team 1 has lost a lot of their gains. They've denied a lot of territory, though, which just can't translate into actual gains. Zelnaga builds an experimental. It is a fat boy. Oh, you're bringing it to the western side. I mean, yeah, but it's just the range on those aren't effective. That's the range, and definitely those missiles outrange the fat boy, so definitely not a good tactical decision there, unfortunately. There's another... Man, Hannibal is just constantly birthing these Colossus, just constantly. Crab's not going to get away, and that crab's going to die. There's now a monkey on approach to help assist. Maybe it'll take out some blazes, but it's not going to be enough. That crab will get pretty close back to main base, but both of our players here on the eastern side, actually 3 of our players on the eastern side, not really doing anything else with their eco. They're, literally just trading experimentals back and forth. Another monkey's being built, another monkey's being built, another one back in. We have a chicken over here. We have a nuke launcher, and it is almost done loading its nuke. That is not good. Does Team 1 know about it? Yes, they do. They're going to know about it more in a couple seconds with these spy planes flying overhead, but that is going to hurt. Are they loaded? Are they? No. Oh, this one's going to be loaded. This one is not loaded. Oh, no. This one oh, wait. No, it is. That was... Oh, okay, because you can't see teammates. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, wait, he doesn't have one loaded? No, he does. Okay. So the best actually place for this first nuke would be the eastern side. Take out the incoming mass. Oh, my goodness. It's the March of the Engineers. You know, just look at them all. Look at all the different types. The T1, T3. I think there's only T1 and T3. What happened? What? No T2s? What's up with that? Oh. But anyway, they're now charging the front line. Going to scoop up all of this reclaim. A chicken. The chicken is the natural adversary of the Colossus. Both of the guns open up. Trying to go around that Colossus. The Colossus turns, takes out the chicken. Gets some ranking vet, turns back around. Some of the hippins fall, but there's another chicken nearby, another monkey nearby. It's not going to matter. And if the monkey isn't careful, it's going to eat some ion fire. And, yep, starts to eat some of that, but not a whole lot of damage, so not terrible. ASF's being shot at by restores here on the east. Is that nuke being fired yet? Nope, haven't heard the announcement. Going to save it. More chickens being spammed up. What is the eco situation looking like for both teams? Well, Team 2 is now leading by a significant margin. They're at 1.2k mass a second versus 900 mass a second. In terms of total generated, or total mass accrued, we have almost a 300,000 advantage. Where's this nuke going? It is going to the east. Yep. Ooh, that's going to hurt. Oh, that's going to hurt. It's going to land. We're going to watch it land. There is just 3 more kneeling in the background. One of them's going to stand up here. That Colossus does finish. It's going to eat some radiation, though. That's not going to feel good. The nuke will land. And kaboom. Oh, decent amount of those engineers go down. And decent amount still survive. So, not a total loss. Some hit points on that Colossus are taken out, but easily regen. No, Zelnaga says nuke. Well, you knew about it. You just didn't notice. The... monkeys on the eastern side being bombarded by Colossus fire once again by the space laser, the face laser. There's space lasers and face lasers and telemasers and a whole bunch of lasers. It's like I'm in Phineas and Ferb. It's like the innators are just like constantly being strewn about. But 3 monkeys versus a Colossus. Actually, second Colossus. The Colossus is not firing for some reason. Them being prior, this definitely helps there. Restores on the dealing a decent amount of damage from their gunships. First Colossus goes down. The second monkey is going to be priorityed. The Colossus actually might make it out of here. ASF coverage trying to help deal with the restores. Restores fall back. Colossus takes a second kill. Do they get the third? Well, he might not get the third, but his nearby units might. Ooh, it's going to be close. Does the monkey survive? Just constant transport. Why are there so many transports just littering the ground here? There's nothing in them. They're just being sent. That Colossus, if it gets in range, that's it. That monkey's dead. There are just missiles being launched to help assist in taking out hit points. The monkey is caught, and it dies. Oh, it's just... how much reclaim? Is that total? That's total on the map currently, 82,000. How much is it currently on screen? Actually, that's not the right number. On screen currently, 122,000 mass. You can see why Hannibalo is spamming out engineers. That's so much mass to leave on the table. Tell me somebody's building a Paragon. There's a Tsar? That's nice. No Paragon. No. 47 minutes. Oh. What is this? What do we have here? This is looking like a Paragon situation. But he's building SMDs first, so... I'm glad he's building shield coverage first and then the thing. The last thing you'd want is to build a Paragon and then have it just be immediately wiped off the map. The eastern side of things don't have any game enders at the current time. We're having a nuke being spammed up. Not really loading that quickly, actually, considering how long ago that first nuke was. Alexander hiding in his teammate's main base. The Colossus making it back to the front lines. Probably should pull back a little bit. The incoming Cerberus fire isn't a lot, but any damage is better than no damage. This would be a nice juicy target to take out these mass fabricator farms up there to the east. Reduce the eco. Colossus opens up and again gets a rank and vet. Shields are starting to fall. going after the mass extractor. Would like to go after the mass farms. That just kill everything else. Colossus gets another Rankin vet. Decides, no, I'll go for it. Why not? Finally, most of those experimentals have been wiped out. Engineers are spamming up ASFs. I keep saying ASFs. SAM sites constantly. Engineers, you gotta just suck up everything. Just suck up any and all reclaim you can. We have these Volthu gunships being spammed up as well. The Cerberus are now being targeted. Actually, the engineers are... No, those are Cerberus. Can't look like engineers for a second. The Colossus is still alive. It just goes to show that the weakness of those PD not really that strong. Now we have a Tsar. A lot of the cruisers were taken out. We have a Colossus chasing a... This is funny. We have a Colossus and a chicken just kind of hanging out with some Otham siege tanks doing their darndest. Hug. Let's hug it out, guys. Let's hug it out. Trying to hug it out here. Just trying to... Oh. Wrong button. Sorry about that. Push the B button, which resets the camera angle. But now the Colossus is going to walk out and just get shot at. So, not really that helpful. There aren't any torpedoes on that experimental. And the face laser is open just enough to target the chicken. And then goes, nope, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. I'm going to walk back in. Could he stomp over these Othams? No, just misses him. That's disappointing. I wanted to see if he could stomp on him. The Tsar was taken out, but there are more Colossi on the western side. It's literally standing amongst giants, pretty much. Not even on the shoulders, just dancing among them. But we had some SACUs appearing here for Zelnago. I don't know if they were transported over in that constellation. Not constellation. It's not Constitution. What the heck are they called? Anyway, I'll look it up in a second. But Rascom's taking out the mass FAF farms. Good move on that front, using the shield ones as well. Being able to deal lots of damage. They get wrecked though, but a lot of that eco was taken out. Definitely worth the trade. You lost all of the generated eco plus all of the mass that was here that was devoted to this. And I think it's Alexander says no. I don't know what that's about. I guess he's constantly losing. There are engineers again on both sides. Team 1 now getting the better use of the reclaim field here. Team 2's got to deny this, or it's not going to go well for them. How's that Paragon going? Nope, it hasn't started being built yet, but I think it's going to be close. Yeah, I think it's going to be close, though. Definitely on the cards. We have this match is a little over an hour. It's like an hour 10, I think. So we still got about 20 minutes left in the match. We have a Colossus being chased by 3 chickens. 3, count them, 3 chickens. One of them almost dead, just limping. And that Colossus is not getting away. This is not looking good for this western flank. A lot of the Colossi have died. Oh, don't turn around now. You're dead. The fat boy did die, though, like I said earlier. Where are the Novaxes? Delnago, what are you doing? You're building mass fab farms. You're not building Novaxes. They're cheap. They'd be very effective. What are you doing? I don't know what's going on with him. But he should have built, in my opinion, he should build Novaxes, especially on this type of map, where a lot of the focus is experimentals and air. So, not really you're not worried a whole lot about ground units in terms of like T3 units. And, tons of gunships. The line of SAM sites was taken out by that monkey. More SAMs are in the back line. I like the layered defense in terms of SAMs. Would like to see more, though. There are these Ascendants, the mobile flag. Some of them have a couple ranks in veterancy, too, so they've definitely been around for a minute. 2 Colossi on the eastern side, though. There's 1 megalith, so probably not the best place to sit next to your SMD with your comm, just in case a nuke comes in or artillery or something. The nuke has been loaded, and all of these engineers are now being directed towards reclaim. Yep, they're going to spam out SAM sites, I guess. So we'll see how that works. It's going to be, mutually assured destruction. Not mutually assured destruction. It's just like everyone builds a shield and no one attacks kind of thing. Or in this case, everyone builds SAMs and no one's attacks. But again, the aircraft carriers making their way to deal their cruiser fire missile nonsense. Otham's assisting the chickens over here to the west. That's not going to look good for Team 2 down here in the south. They have to build a Paragon here. Like, what would you not build here? The template has been done. They're loading SMD as we speak. Why would you not build a Paragon? You're Aeon. You're 53 minutes in the game. You won't know this, but you're leading the eco game by a 2-1. Just spam out a Paragon and build all the Colossi you want. The engineers, they're dying. They're all dying. The civilians are dying. Oh, it's so sad to see. Oh. Spam up Utashala. Spam them up. Go as fast as you can, guys. Come on. It's not really going to matter, but something's better than nothing. It's just disappointing to see all these engineers go up in smoke. You know, I could see like 1,000 Harbs die, but, you know, engineers dying is just so sad to watch. The civilians, what do they do? The Crab trying to run away. The Volthus are actually taking out the anti-air, so very good job on that front. Another Colossus. Now they're focusing on the Colossus. Look at the hit points just get shredded. The Crab turns around. The second laser opens up. There's bricks coming in to assist. They're targeting the weaker one. That Crab will probably die here soon. The first Colossus dies. Colossus gets rinsed. A shield gets online fairly quickly. And now it falls as a monkey as well. Ooh, this is not going to be good. There's a monkey. There's PD. There's gunships. There's a whole bunch of nonsense over here. The second Colossus will fall. Priority is the chicken. The chicken's going to hug it out with the Colossus here. I kind of want another like screenshot of just let's hug it out. Let's hug it out. Come on, let's hug it out. Come on, hug. Hugs. Hugs. Hug it out. Oh, the chicken falls. But it's not going to matter because then the Colossus falls. So I guess they hugged it out in the end. This is going to damage some of the reclaim. I think it can damage reclaim, right? Some bricks are going to fall, though. No, I don't think it can target reclaim. So, well, that's a lot of reclaim. What is that on Team 1's doorstep? That is... You can't see because they're... What? Oh, because you have to be out so far. 116,000 reclaim. So, or mass, you know, reclaimable mass. That's a lot of mass. The Tsar is being shot at by the aircraft carriers. Spy plane missions go out to see what's going on. This is what they can see currently. They've obviously pinpointed the nuke. They pinpointed some SMD. They got in the backline. They're going to see pretty much everything. Would like to see them look at this once again. They're going to rebuild those mass FAF farms. They are building a Hovatham. What about the H's in Seraphim? Tech. What's up with that? So, artillery wars are going to start being built here for Team 1. Team 2, do they have an answer to it? Well, like I said earlier, I knew it was coming. I think everybody did. The Paragon is currently being built, and more RASCOMs are going to be starting to appear for that specific purpose. Does Team 1 even know about it? Well, they know they're grouping for something. You would assume it's either a game ender, so whether that be not a Novax, a Maver. There we go. The words are hard, everybody. A Maver or a Paragon. So that's definitely going to be something you're going to want to watch out for. Another experimental falls. I don't know how many experimentals has been so far, but it's been a lot. It's been a lot of missiles inbound. Take out some reclaim unintentionally. The Crab gets up just in time. Is going to take out this Colossus, and no one even cares at this point. Like, reclaim is a priority, of course. Let's see the total reclaims. Reclaim 423,000 for Team 2 and 312,000 for Team 1. So, you know, even the total mass accrued, you know, almost 1 million mass advantage for Team 2, and they've sunk a lot of it into let's build Colossus and march. So that works if you have a Paragon and you don't care about mass, but you don't yet, so mass is kind of important. And in terms of mass, no, nothing in the bar. Oh, wrong person. Nothing in the bar. So this is going to load pretty slowly. But in terms of generated eco per player, Strife is leading at 689. That's definitely to a lot of those RASCOMs, which he has how many of? 25. Not a terrible amount. There was some fighting over here to the east in the ASF wars, but of course there's SAM sites, there's Azar, there are ASF. Where did his restorers go? There are more ASF over here. But I see SMD, 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 SMD. No SMD over here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 SMDs to just protect the major installations. We have 2 down here, so we have 6 SMD for Team 2 and only 3 for Team 1. So each one has their own personal. That's a pretty good idea. Oh, come on, you're just going to walk? You're not even going to target any of this? You could easily take a lot of this out. What are you doing? Oh, it's going for power. Not really the best idea. I mean, there's nothing over here. Alexander's base was, at some point going to fall. That Hovatham is almost finished. Would like to see some shields. It's actually not even being built. It's actually on pause currently. Another Colossus is appearing. I would take this Colossus and just book it immediately to the west and take out that artillery installation. Just don't even let it get online. Oh yeah, stomp over enemy structures. Definitely a good use of those giant feet that those Colossus have. Oh, walk over the hives. Just walk over them. Come on, it'd be very therapeutic. Probably wouldn't feel good on your feet, but definitely be therapeutic. The crab gets built. Oh, this is just so disappointing. So many defenses could already been taken offline. You could actually spam to that Hovatham. It actually is built. Excuse me. That's why they stopped building it. The first artillery shells are starting to land. I mean, what do you go after at this point? There's hardly any shield coverage over here for Zelnagas. He's spamming out a bunch of energy storage. Doesn't really need to do that. You can just spam up power gens, and it just does the same thing. So, maybe not. But it is going after the main base of Hannibalo. But again, first round misses. The Colossus, they're both still alive. They're very weak, though. And you're like, oh, we should go after the artillery now. That's a good idea. But now there's shields around it. There's, PD around it. There's a nearby megalith. There's a, Tsar nearby. There is a, another Colossus to the south. Both of them just kind of just hug it out. Wait for the end of days and decide to eat plasma fire. The Tsar starts to be targeted. Bad turn. Could have taken out the Tsar with that move. Unfortunately, the Tsar is still alive, though. Constantly trying to micro that Tsar, trying to keep it alive. The ASF will die, unfortunately, for, looks like Strife. Yeah, Strife. What is up with all these transports? I don't know what he gains from this. The monkey does die. Okay, just walk it in. Just walk. No. Walk. No. I'm like raging a little bit because I'm like, you could literally walk in, taking out the artillery right now. Yeah, you would dump the mass, but you're going to dump the mass anyways. You might as well. Okay, there you go. Go. Just walk. It's not enough. See, you had a chance to do it, and you didn't take it. You could have just, landed on top of it, but so disappointing. Okay, hold your forces back and regroup for another attack. Looks like some nuke or something. Oh, I guess these might have been these are RASCOMs. They came in and took out a section of the air grid, so Team 1 not looking good. They've lost pretty much an entire main base. They have a Hovatham. They have an artillery installation, so that's something. But they've lost their mass fabricators. It's an hour in. The Paragon is 75+% completed on its last 1,000 hit points. Once that builds, unless Team 1 sacrifices someone to take it out, like Alexander, for example, he'd be a perfect candidate. He doesn't have any base left, pretty much. You could, if you take out the Paragon, that's a lot of, resources devoted to that thing. Shields are now being spammed up. They've taken out some of the P-gens, but it's not a significant amount of damage. Thought that was a Maver for a second. That would have been funny. But Insane and Chuck, they were doing fairly good early game. Chuck took over the western side. Decent amount with their, Navy. Still has chickens. Still has a presence on this western side, but they lost the eastern side. And slowly but surely, though, it took a long time for for Hannibalo and assisting players, his other two teammates, to just chew through this eastern side. The Tsar could easily crash land on top of that installation and kill it. I think it has enough crash damage to kill it, but it doesn't want to just fly in and die. So Colossus stays alive just barely, though, taking out everything on the northeastern side. Team 1 does not have the ASF. They could commit, maybe take out the Tsar, but then that's the rest of their air force for the time being. There are broadswords nearby. There's 3 more Colossi. It's not looking good. The comm of Insane is just patrolling the reclaim field. Probably not the best place to put it. Your comm. There are gunships on approach. I think they're targeting the ASF on the ground, but then Decide to go after the gunships. Go in. They get underneath shield coverage just barely, so they can target that P-Gen. Some of them don't. They kind of just like hover back in. It's not enough. The monkey is going to fall. Okay, just send all of these and go forward. The shields are down. The shields are down. You can easily just laser a couple of those P-Gens and you're good. It's just, again, it's the whole hindsight 2020 thing. But looks like, what is going on? It looks like they're being built and they're exploding because the incoming chickens. Ooh, this is actually not really good for Team 2 down here. But, okay, target one chicken, please. Don't target all of them. You want to take out one and then the other one because they'll just walk into the ion storm. There are a couple Ravagers nearby. There are a couple Oblivion turrets. One of the chickens will fall, and then this will start taking out nearby stuff. The Quantum Gateway is a good target. Taking out the P-Gens is also a good target. But the Ion Storm does take out some friendly hit points. The second chicken falls. I would have liked to see this just walked in. A decent amount of the air crit does go up, though, so I'd say that's a win. At least in terms of the air game, but all those chickens die on the same spot. Would have liked to see them walk in just a little bit more. Why you don't kill this already? Yeah, even Zelnaga is like, why? Why? It's right there. Why? The bodies, just the bodies. Where's this nuke going? It's going for the main base of Zelnaga. Zelnaga doesn't have an SMD loaded. The other SMD installation was taken out. I think it was like right over here somewhere. Yeah, it was right here. So that's going to hurt. Ooh, that's going to hurt. The Paragon has been built. I repeat, the Paragon has been playing for a throw with the little annoyed face. Kaboom! The nuke goes off. Takes out a decent section of Zelnaga's main base, but honestly, your teammate has a Paragon. So unless it loses shield coverage and immediately blows up, it should be fine. The Artie impacts onto the shield for that Tsar. It doesn't really do a whole lot. In a couple minutes, we'll see all of the incoming forces come in for Team 2. We have our aircraft carrier being just shot at by a bunch of restorers. Too many hit points on that aircraft carrier. ASF come in to help assist with that defense. But now it looks like, again, should have taken it out when you had the chance. Just use this. Says Zelnaga. Zelnaga just being a little annoyed. I mean, looks like Strife is going to spam out Tsars, which isn't actually, it's actually a pretty good strategy because they are faster, and if they die, they deal a lot of crash damage. So, okay, turn your units this way. There's a Colossus that could easily just walk in and kill at least the Hubbatham. Not Hubbatham. Yeah, Hubbatham. Hawthorne. The battleship. Again, it's both the Hubbatham and the Hawthorne. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. He's walking around the fire. It's not going to be enough. You got to walk in a straight line. Closest distance between 2 points is straight line. No, you got to walk into this. Ooh, would have targeted the P-Gen. Probably would have been a bad idea. But damage has been done. The second Colossus is inbound. Too close to the chicken, though. It's not going to matter. Wow, it's just frustrating. Tsars are being spammed up, taking out additional ASFs, or reserve ASFs here. Teleporter now on the way for Alexander Berlin. How long is that going to load, though? 2 minutes. Doesn't have any mass. Has some overflow, so he has the power for it. Well, I heard explosions. Oh, it's Rascoms. Okay. No one has died. So I will point this out. At 1 hour and 5 minutes, no one has died. It's pretty much going to probably be a recall or a everyone dies at once thing, because no one's dead. No one's bowed out. No one's, no connection issues. No nothing. One game ender was built. It was the Paragon, Aeon. They're known for the Paragons and the infinite resource generating nonsense that they produce. The amount of experimentals that have died in this match reminds me of the comment from Return of the Jedi. It's like many Bothans have died to give us this information. It's like many Colossus and monkeys have died for somebody to win this game at this point. Insane, not under shield coverage, building an ion reactor. No one's given up, still doing reclaim orders and whatnot. But looks like we have the incoming doom of these Czars, and it's not looking good for Team 1 now. They were doing a lot in the western side. Eastern side was holding out for a long time. They just couldn't capitalize it, and the lasers will soon open up. I think they're going straight for that Hovatham. The first Tsar is going to die. Does to get the momentum in. Takes out some shield coverage. Takes out the Hovatham. And is now going to go after... It might just go after... Yep, it's going to go after... comms now. Alexander is in... Oh, lands on top of Alexander. Takes some hit points out. Takes out the rest of that air... Or most of the rest of the air grid. Alexander on, 5,000 hit points, repping up quite nicely, actually. GG says Chuck. Yeah, it's... You've lost the hub. You've lost the artillery. You've lost, decent amount of hit points. Hannibal says GG. GGs are thrown in the chat. More Zars being spammed up as we speak. And Team Chuck has now given the recall order. They knew the writing on the wall, and that is going to be match win or game win for Team 2, Blue Team, Southern Team, whatever the heck we want to call it. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. It's a little bit longer than my other videos past couple days, so hopefully you guys enjoy the extra long cast. And again, don't mind the little ranting that I do sometimes. It just you see something that somebody should be doing and they don't do it, and it just frustrates me. But again, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please like and comment down below. And if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Trying to make my way, of course, to 1,000 to start being monetized on YouTube. And again, thank you so much for watching. And I will see everyone and all of you, and you especially, you watching, in the next one.